Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, gang? Welcome into Victory Friday. My name is Clayton. This is PTA. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us on this glorious Black Friday, November the 28th. That's Tim over there in Green Bay, Wisconsin, here to talk about this Packers dub over the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day. I tell you, man, we're spoiled as a fan base. I'm just going to say it. Seems like every time we play on Thanksgiving, we get to have one of these Victory Friday shows, and the guys show up, and man, I don't know about you guys. I'm thankful to be a Packer fan and how awesome social media has been. This whole celebration, the funny memes. We're going to walk through all of it today, and that's what this whole Victory Friday is going to be for. We're going to take you inside the locker room, let you hear what Matt LaFleur had to say to the guys. We're also going to do a Tay Wicks segment I'm really excited about, who just absolutely balled out yesterday. We'll have some of the sound bites from the telecast. So you guys can hear that and relive it and talk about some of the statistics, some of the chatter on social media about that. We'll talk Matt LaFleur hanging them out there. And if you guys know, you know, and we got a meme for that, which, by the way, hit social media and absolutely cracked me up. We'll do a little Jordan Love segment outside of the Tay Wicks stuff. What did Jordan Love do on the day? And obviously with Watson and Musgrave and the guys, Micah Parsons balled out. We'll hit on some of the key statistics from that, which is wild to say the least. Him paying homage to Reggie White. Pretty cool little situation there yesterday as well. Post-game turkey, salute, all that good stuff. And then we'll get into, of course, the Devontae Wyatt injury and what it may mean for the Packers coming down the stretch here. So also today you got a huge game. You got the Bears versus the Eagles at 3:00, right? And we're going to be doing, I know I will. I don't want to hold Tim to it or Jacob or anybody else, but if everything goes as planned, I will be in here doing a watch party. We're going to be doing a hate watch party for the Bears.
Get ready to go.
Be giving you play-by-play and just kind of talking Packers while the Bears game's going on and reacting to that. Obviously, if the Bears lose today, the Packers are back in first place in the NFC North. But that's what's on tap today. So if this is your first time tuning into PTA, welcome. Thank you for making us a part of your morning. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media members. We're fans just like you talking Packers on the daily. So if you look for that type of content, make sure you click subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. I want to thank everybody here lately who's been hitting the like button. You guys continue to smash that like button for us. It is absolutely cranking the algorithm, and our content's getting out there to more Packer fans. Therefore, the community's growing. We can keep adding to this awesome group we got here. Tim, you got anything you want to hit before we dive into anything, man? Happy Victory Friday here, dude. It's a good day. I seen you sipping the coffee. You're probably like me. You ate way too much food yesterday, right?
Yeah, man, definitely. And leftovers today for sure. Maybe in the next couple of days. But no, it was a wonderful holiday, and the Packers got the dub, man. I'm happy to be here, and yeah, the diesel's kicking in here in a minute. I'll wake up here in a few minutes, man. Let's get it done though. Let's hit the. We're gonna hit the locker room, the post game locker room celebration.
I think we are. We're gonna get
the tunnel. Can we get the tunnel celebration?
And we got us a couple of screen grabs we'll use here to pop up on the screen. I added for you, Tim. We got this one, of course, glorious, love it, right? Love it. And then, of course, we got the Matt LaFleur wink, and we had to add that one, right? So we'll clean that one up a bit so it doesn't cover the whole screen. Let's use this one most of the day, though, if that's all right. And I'll let you know when I need them. And I appreciate you jumping in here this morning, man. Let's get into the victory cam. We shouldn't need it for this. It's just a tunnel victory cam. The guys coming back off the field after the dub, and then we'll get into the locker room speech from Matt LaFleur. Here we go.
Hey, the dub, man. Let's go.
Look, bro. I ain't got much to say, bro.
We got a dub on Thanksgiving. Talk about in here. Big dog, yeah. Dubs on Thanksgiving, man. There's no better feeling. Go Pack. Big dub. Just get it. Woo!
Cool. Lasso.
Hey, dub, man.
Love it. The guys are.
Javon Bullard is the best on that video. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Bull had me cracking up.
Yeah, he's the man, dude. And listen, Matt LaFleur's got this team cranking, and it just seems like every week somebody else goes down with an injury, and it's a significant injury, and they just continue to put together winning football and really a football team that can constantly compete, man. You can't say enough about what Matt LaFleur has done here. And I know the haters have disappeared until we lose a game, and it's going to happen. We're going to lose a game at some point, and they're going to come right back out and say that he needs to be fired and this and that. But for the time being, man, Matt LaFleur just continues to climb that winning percentage list all time and just figures out a way to win these ball games, even though you've got half of your damn roster either on injured reserve or banged up at least. But here was Matt LaFleur, a fired up Matt LaFleur in the locker room with his guys immediately following the game. And this, you can find this over on Packers.com. You can find it at the Packers Twitter page too, at Packers. So here we go. Say, quote, "How'd that delicious turkey taste?" A quote here from Matt LaFleur. Here we go.
How'd that turkey taste?
Oh, I see what they did there. So instead of the F-bomb, they said delicious. Packers put delicious in it. Love to see it.
That is how you compete. That was playoff football. It took all 60 minutes, all three phases. Give it up for yourself, man. That's what it's going to take moving forward, too. I got 3 game balls, man. I got 3 game balls today. This first guy, we threw 4 tutties on the day. Okay, love.
Hey, man, like I said, man, love you boys, man. I'm thankful on this day to do this. And, man, come out, hey, O-line, man. No sack, boy.
This next guy had 2.5 sacks, and in doing so, becomes the first guy in NFL history to have 12-plus sacks in his first 5 years.
The first person to ever do that in the history of the game. That's a wild stat.
Just truthfully, just coming on this day, playing this game, I just realized I'm just thankful for everybody, bro. Like, truthfully, I'm thankful. I'm thankful to be in this position. I'm thankful that the organization believed in me and brought me here, and that I could do these special things with you guys. So let's just keep doing these special things, dog. I'm here with y'all. Man, y'all know I'm going 100% every time for y'all, so just know that. And we're going to get this.
With what looked like a little bit of blood on his jersey. Did you notice that, Tim? A little battered up. Love it.
This last guy. This guy had 6 for 90.
Bring it out!
Oh,
Let's go.
It's the best day to tell y'all, boys. I'm thankful for everybody in here. You know, and it's a lot of people that keep me in it. And I'm thankful for that. I never take this for granted. We just gotta keep this going.
every week you notice that whoever they have to break it down at the end, they always say, Tim, every single time they say, hey, we ain't done. Hey, we got work to do. We got to get back in here and go back to work. Like you could tell there's no resting there, right? It's a young team, but you could tell this team is they've got their eye on the prize, man. It's exciting.
Yeah, ready to go 1-0 every week, right? That's the attitude, that's the demeanor. And again, like, you know, we've mentioned several times on this pod and on this show that those guys are playing for each other out there. There's no me guys out on this football team. These guys are going to war for each other every week and picking each other up. You know, you see Jordan Love getting the game ball, and the first thing he does is thank his O-line for, you know, keeping him off the turf and not giving up a sack and playing good football. And you know, you got Micah Parsons, you know, speaking to that team, saying he's going to go 100% for his guys, and those guys are going to go 100% for him and, you know, pick each other up. So I think, like I had said yesterday after the game, man, a lot of you haters owe Matt LaFleur an apology, man. He's got these boys humming, playing together, and we're getting ready to go ahead and spank the Chicago Bears at home. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. 2-0 for this says Wicks is following the Devontae timeline if he can keep this up. He really is. And we kind of talked about it, man. He actually was ahead of Devontae did I say Wyatt? I meant Devontae Adams. Sorry if I said Wyatt. He's actually ahead of Devontae Adams' timeline because Devontae Adams struggled with catches. Devontae Adams didn't have that awesome rookie year that Tay Wicks had. Tay Wicks had a really strong rookie year, graded out really, really well according to PFF. His yak over expected was through the roof. There was all these little nuggets going, this is going to be a good football player. And then sophomore slump hit, had some drops, and that's where people kind of draw that parallel with Devontae Adams having the drop issue. And then, of course, this year he looks like he's closer to that rookie year than he is last year. Obviously, this game here, man, I mean, we'll get into the PFF grades later this evening, obviously. But, yeah, I completely agree over this. I think that's very well said, man. He's just – again, it's another reason why you shouldn't give up on young players, right? And you got to give them time to develop. And my rule of thumb is 3 years. Give them at least 3 years. And if you don't see a steady improvement, kind of like we talk about a prospect who's ascending into the league, they are starting to ascend by their third year. You want to see them, okay, they took a step. Then you got to make a decision in replacing them after their fourth year. Now, they could break out in their fourth year. And now that's a good problem to have because you've already tried to start to replace them, and now you're heavy at that position, right? So, and that's why it's important to keep focused, I think, on the important positions, the tier one positions of importance. But you got to make sure those other holes in the roster are filled too. But I completely agree over this. He's again, man, he's looking like a solid wide receiver. He looks stronger too. Tim Wicks, man. Heck, we'll just get into it. So that was a pretty good segue there. As a matter of fact, we'll dive into it. Let me hit the super chat. And then I want to get your take on Wicks. Mike Witt with the super chat. Hey, guys, happy Victory Friday. If Wyatt is indeed out for the year, do they call Christian Wilkins' agent and try to work out a deal? Or no, one more thing, fly, Eagles fly today. Amen to that. The Christian Wilkins thing is tough for me, Mike, because I was one that wanted Christian Wilkins when he was in free agency. Like, I didn't go, hey, we got to go get him because they thought how can I say this? The front office knew what they had in Devontae Wyatt, and obviously this defense is way better with Devontae Wyatt on the field. Now, I'm not saying he's playing at Christian Wilkins' level when Christian Wilkins was dominating in, I believe, Miami. But the reality is Christian Wilkins has got personal issues. I don't know if they're willing to bring that in-house, and if you guys know the details on what happened, it kind of got leaked out. Just doing some really strange stuff. And I don't know how to say it without it being awkward, Tim, but you talking about a guy who's touching opponents inappropriately on the field and then do it in the locker room too, it sounds like. So it's just, good football player, but there's been a lot of good football players come through the league that just can't stay on the field and can't get out of their own way. It kind of feels like Christian Wilkins is that dude. Change of scenery could change things up, but also you got to go to your leadership council there, Tim, and ask them. You got to go to the leaders on your team and go, hey, how would you guys feel about this? And if they say, no, we don't need that, we got the guys in-house, you got to trust your boys. And I think that's the best way to handle that, rather than just going all of a sudden they come into work one day and this guy's in the locker room and then you go, what the hell's going on here? I've got my boy who's been bleeding in the trenches with me for the last 12 weeks, and then you bring this knucklehead in who acts like a complete moron, doing just stupid stuff constantly. Does that make sense? How do you feel about that whole situation there, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think, first of all, I think Mike's, not wrong to think that way, that, hey,
right,
we lost a key player on that defensive line, and maybe you want to start looking around for, you're not going to, you're not replacing a guy like Devontae Wyatt. I mean, he's just irreplaceable. You need guys to step up. So you want to fill that void until he can get back on the field. But yeah, I'm with you, man. If you got a guy that's got, off the field extracurricular stuff going on, or, his head's not in the right space, we just talked about how well this team is clicking together and playing for each other. You don't want to bring a locker room cancer into your organization. And not saying that unequivocally that Wilkins is that dude, but, you already know he's coming with baggage. And, regardless of the output on the field, if he's going to be a problem for your organization, then I would think the guys probably don't even want to roll the dice on that one. And I'm looking forward to seeing who steps up on this Packers team. We've got some young men on that defensive front. We got to see a little bit yesterday. Maybe we'll get to see a little bit more of Mr. Brinson and Mr. Stackhouse out there. So, all is not lost yet, but we'll see what happens. And yes, Mike's also right. Fly Eagles fly today. Beat the Bears. Let's go.
Yeah. And we'll talk about the snap count and what I think the interior defensive lineman is going to look like moving forward without Wyatt. I'm assuming he's out for the year. We'll get you guys that information as soon as it breaks later this afternoon. So make sure that you click subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified when we go live for that info. Sounds like it's pretty bad. But yeah, again, Mike, I'm not disagreeing. If it was just Christian Wilkins,
Christopher Walken.
I'm so tired, Tim. Man, we got home late last night. I'm just wore out. If it's Christian Wilkins on the football field, none of the baggage, I'm probably going, heck yeah, dude. Why is he still out there? Why is he available? Again, that's why he's available, right?
Yeah.
So thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. But let's switch gears here, Tim. Let's talk a little bit deeper on Mr. Dantavion Wicks. So if you'll get me
right.
that,
Nobody's going to call him Don Travion anymore. I think everyone's going to know his name after yesterday.
Absolutely. And this kind of leads us in. Mike Witt with another super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says the scary thing is with this offense, imagine if we get yesterday's version of Wicks with Reed, Golden, and Williams for the stretch run. I've been really impressed with Brinson too on defense. So yeah, that's a great point, man. You get Reed back, get Golden healthy, get Savion back in the fold, get that heavy rotation of those wide receivers in and out. Christian Watson continuing to do what he's doing. But yeah, Wicks, you're spot on there, man. With this version of Wicks, this team can be deadly. Thank you for that super chat. Tim, give me that Turkey Day screenshot if you don't mind. And here we go. This is the TV call from the Jordan Love to Dantavion Wicks, 4-6. Man, you could tell he's been working on those hands. Let's hear Tom Brady and whoever that other guy was. Who was the other guy, Tim? I'm trying to remember, man.
Kevin Burkhardt.
Kevin Burkhardt. There you go. Here we go. Here they were with the call on this touchdown catch.
Love looking, floating for the corner. Wicks, he is
absolute dime piece, too, boys. I mean, a dime piece. You could not have thrown that ball any better. You could drop that down now, Tim. I want to put Wendell's tweet up here. Wendell Ferreira over on X put this tweet up and said, seriously, you want to complain about the false start? Correct. You don't want to mention the DPIs and the fake illegal use of hands? Okay, that's being a fan. But saying this was not a catch is complete insanity. You could see the screen grab. The ball is in Wicks's hands. Right foot's already down. Obviously, he gets the left foot down. Right. This was a touchdown catch. Now, the ball, did it move a little bit as he's going to the ground? We've seen this 1,000 times. I don't like the way the rules are. I've been very, very vocal that I think the ball should not be allowed to move, but the rules are the rules. And I'm telling you, every week we see somebody get awarded a catch and the ball's slightly shifting or they're putting it in another hand as they're getting the second foot down. So it was a hell of a throw. I mean, look at that throw, Tim. Yep. Like, seriously. You maybe a little, just 6 inches outside, but other than that, you can't throw it any better. And Wicks just making a great contested catch, gets his ankle rolled up a little bit, didn't stop him, came right back into the game. What'd you think of that grab right there, man? And that was Eli Berkovitz, by the way, that put the second tweet out that Wendell quote tweeted there.
Yeah, Book of Eli. Make sure you follow him on X too. Great follow. Yeah, Tay Wicks playing big boy football right there. And one of several absolute dime throws from Jordan Love in this ball game. Chalk Talk is going to be fun watching him just carve up Detroit. But I love it, man. Tay Wicks, the hands, we talked about the drop issues last year, and I don't know if anybody worked harder in the offseason to get right than Dantavion Wicks, honestly. And you see it now. He's only had a couple drops this year and absolute clutch catches when you need it the most. And then, yeah, the toe drag swag and the footwork to follow it. You got a quarterback that can drop that ball in between coverage like that and trust your receiver to go get it. I mean, we are poised for a playoff push with this type of lineup. So, yeah, you got to tip your cap to Tay Wicks, man. Extremely impressed. I think, based on what we saw during the offseason, I think Tay Wicks and Carrington Valentine probably put in the most personal time and work, other than Christian Watson working on that rehab. But can't say enough about it. Hard work pays off, right? I mean, you talked about Tay Wicks looking like he added maybe 10 pounds of muscle. Looks like he's more, physically cut and stronger, just as fast. And then now the hands are there. I mean, what a great catch.
Yeah.
That back shoulder that Jordan threw him open on also was incredible catch. Played a really good game. Probably his best game of the year for sure. No doubt.
Yeah. Doug in the chat says Lion fans losing their mind on X couldn't happen to a better worse fan base. Yeah. And again, they talked so much trash, so much. There's so many receipts out there. It is unbelievable. It's been a blast on social media the last, last 12 hours or so. It seems like at least the last, I know I went to bed grinning like a possum in a dumpster and I woke up grinning. As soon as I was like, yeah, that really happened. Those poor Lion fans are still out there crying. So it's just what an awesome game to watch. All right, keeping the theme here with Dantavion, or as Emilio calls him, Dantavion Wicks. Here was another touchdown catch. This was an RPO from Jordan to Dantavion Wicks. And what they've got here, actually, let me drop that down for just a second so you can kind of see it here a little bit. What they've got is that bunch left, and that's a bunch trips left look, okay? So your nub right on the right side, just a tight end. So this is a 3-by-1 set with the tight end attached on the other side. I mean, you can run the ball here or you can pass it. Notice the hat count up top. You've got two guys outside. That inside third defender is going to be hard to get to Wicks, who's lined up in the 3 if you throw a bubble out there or a smoke route, right? And that's exactly kind of what they do. They let him get outside on a bubble or a flat out of the RPO run pass option, so you can hand the ball off if you want. They like their hat count outside. Jordan said, let's just go ahead and pick up a tutter here. So let's listen to the TV call on this. Again, this is the Jordan Love touchdown pass to Dantavion Wicks on the RPO.
Someone wide open. On the fake, Love throwing it. Wicks makes the catch. Lunging. He's in. Number 2 for Wicks and another one for Green Bay.
So another one of those, Tim. Great hands catch. And then great body control by Dantavion Wicks, where he catches the football. And they said a play fake. It technically is a play fake because Jordan puts the ball in the belly like he's going to hand it off, and he looks at that hat count and just slings it out there to Wicks. But Wicks, to be able to catch the ball, get possession, turn, get the ball over the pylon, and maintain possession, not fumble it through the end zone that you see every week. Man, what a phenomenal play, dude. So now you've seen, Tim, the previous, touchdown. What did you see? It was almost like a hole shot, right? Yep. Perfect throw by Jordan. Catches it, takes a lick, gets both feet in bounds, maintains possession. Then you see him on a quick pass RPO, a little bit of rack to get into the end zone for the touchdown. You're checking all the boxes, man, with Wicks. You really are. It's
like Jordan said in one of his post-game interviews, we knew they were going to play a lot of man. We knew what they were going to try and do, and we were ready for it. And great execution. And, what can you say about Tay Wicks that we haven't already said, man? The hands are definitely stronger than they were last season, no doubt. That is no joke. Like you said, having to control your body, keep yourself in bounds, break the plane at the goal line, and keep possession. That's it's not an easy task when you've got defenders bearing down on you. So, again, tip your cap to Tay Wicks. Incredible play.
Yeah, Mike Witt with the super chat says, I think the worst call was the ridiculous PI call on 25 on Detroit's last possession. The wide receiver plows into him, and they call it on Nixon. What a joke. So true. Right. And again, that was the one where I'm like, okay, I've had enough of this. Like the fact that you did not call the pass interference with Christian Watson going up to catch it, and the guy grabs his left arm and pulls it back down to where he can't even use both hands to try to catch the ball. No pass interference. A receiver runs straight into Keyshawn Nixon, and they call illegal contact or whatever it was, PI. I'm not sure exactly what the call was.
That's what I was saying last night. Like, just be consistent.
Right.
Okay, you missed the call on Scoot, then you better not call that on Keyshawn, man. Just let it be a no call, both sides.
Yeah, completely agree, man. Completely agree. Thank you for the super chat there. Appreciate you, buddy. Mike, thank you. And then Nick McSwain in the chat says, Lions fans have been saying, just wait till Thanksgiving since week 1. LMAO. It's so true.
Belt to ass. Shut up.
Breaking it back out. I'm telling you. All right, next play. So when the game's on the line, think player, not play, right? That's Pat Kerwin, 101. That's take your eye off the ball. This next broadcast call here is game on the line, right? This is a 4th down pass. You decide to go for it on 4th down. LaFleur did. We'll talk about LaFleur here in a second. He's coming up next. And then, of course, who do you look for, Tim? You look for Dantavion Wicks. And just so happens he caught this ball on Brian Branch, too, which makes it so much sweeter.
So much sweeter.
Here we go. Here is the call. Them looking back at the replay, I believe. Tom Brady on the call with Fox NFL.
But Wicks with Branch right in his hip pocket. You cannot be any tighter than that. And Love feels the heat of Aleem McNeil. What a catch to seal the game. Hanging in the pocket. Good for them. Going on the road. Tough environment. Huge game. Answer the bell. Back foot.
Again, we'll talk Matt LaFleur here in a minute. Let's stick on Wicks for say so hard not to mention Matt LaFleur because golly, what a hell of a play call there. And again, man, you talking about it on third down, then fourth down, and just continuing to decide to pass the ball. Look at this shot right here, guys.
Look at that.
I mean,
how about these hands?
So I had to pull out the quote. Remember when Brian Branch said earlier in the season, I just felt like they were bullying me out there, crying and everything after he basically walked over and sucker punched somebody and then blamed them, said they were bullying him, right? So I had to throw the quote out there. But Tim, that catch, man, I mean, seriously, he got a guy, looks like he's getting shanked in the throat, right?
Yep.
And here you got Wicks, diamond pattern, everything you're taught. I mean, look at this cat back here. You think he ain't impressed? That guy's got a family, and I guarantee you they don't appreciate the side profile, do they, Tim? That's just not a good word.
We need a defensive tackle, man. Maybe that guy's available.
See if he can play the one tech for us, right? The Lions fan here too is just hilarious. Look at my guy. He's like, what the hell? Are you serious?
Right now? Go back to where you belong, towards the bottom of the division.
Yeah. And then you'll go put the paper bags back over your heads, and your
attendance will be back to 12,000 people per game. Yep, yeah, no problem.
Exactly. Which, by the way, shout out to Stick Radio. If you guys don't know who that is, he's with the Woodward Network. Have
we located him? Is he well and okay?
Last I checked him, he hadn't tweeted in 3 days. This is the guy that talked more trash than any Lions fan. And boy, oh boy, is he getting ratioed right now. I went back and pulled that original tweet that we posted earlier in the year. I was going to show it today, and I'm like, we've seen it enough. It was him talking trash, talking about all the faults that the Packers have. And I just spliced in everything disproving what he said was inaccurate. Their DBs are banged up. We get an interception. Jordan Love's trash. Jordan Love touchdown from the first game. We could have done it again yesterday. But again, shout out to Stick Radio, man. Where you at, Bob? We miss you. We're worried about you, okay? We need to get you back on socials there. So, but yeah, again, Dantavion Wicks, man, phenomenal day. Anything else you want to add to the Wicks talk before we move on to some Matt LaFleur hanging them out there, Tim?
Yeah, I see he lost his shoe on that play too. Did he run right out of his shoe on that
Wicks
last catch? I think so. Or it was either Wicks or Branch. Maybe he ran Branch out of his shoe or something.
I didn't even know he lost his shoe. That makes it even better, dude.
Yeah, that was incredible. But you got to credit good old Tupac LaFleur. Balls of steel there on that call, especially after not getting it on third. To go ahead and go for it on fourth and ice the game. Absolutely clutch. I love that he took a page out of Dan Campbell's book and gave him a taste of his own medicine in his own building. Love it.
Absolutely. So if you guys are watching this video back later, let us know what you think of Tay Wicks. Do you think he's got what it takes to step up and maybe be the number 2 wide receiver in this offense? Maybe he can be the number 1. Maybe he takes that kind of leap. There was nobody expecting Devontae Adams to be the number 1 his second or third year in the league, right? Let us know in the comments what you think. Let us know how you feel about this offense, how you feel about the receiving core in general. And also make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. All right, Tim. So we kind of talked about it. We're going to go to the call on this play now. All right. Again, I just put a tweet up here on this particular play. We want to talk a little Matt LaFleur here. And I'm so sick of the people talking about he's not aggressive enough. He's not this. He's not that. Right. This dude right here. Oh, my bad. I stepped on your feet.
No, that's cool. I like it.
This is the actual play. It's just 8 seconds long. Okay. We gave you kind of the breakdown from Tom Brady. This was the live call on it of Jordan Love with the fadeaway pass. Again, guys, you had this is what I put in the tweet. This is why it's important here. Okay. I said, we better never hear another LaFleur hater say he's too conservative. It was 3rd and 3. Detroit had no timeouts, right? And keep in mind, guys, that you can run 40 seconds off the clock on that 3rd down, right? You can literally run 40 seconds off the clock, leave them with roughly a minute left, and they got to go all the way down the field and score a touchdown. You know how many coaches would have played it that way? Your boy right here probably would have played it that way.
Scared money don't make money.
I like our chances with our defense on the field to stop them. Matt LaFleur went out there on 3rd down, said, no, we're not running. We're passing. Threw the ball incomplete. I texted the guys, was like, God, I wish we'd have ran the football right there, right? Again, I'm not saying LaFleur should be fired. I'm not saying LaFleur is not I've been very vocal. I think he's too aggressive at times, right? Going for it on 4th down, passing up on field goals, things like that. But 3rd and 3, Detroit, no timeouts. He passed 4th down instead of punting and pinning them deep and making them go the distance, right? Came out and passed the ball again, and this was the play.
Love looking around, pressure in his face, throws, it is caught! Oh, Dantavion Wicks!
Unbelievable. I love Brady laughing in the background too, Tim. Oh, man, what a moment. What a moment. That's going to be one of those, if the Packers go on an epic run here and they end up putting a championship team together this year, we're going to look back on that play and go, man, that was kind of when things turned around a bit. That's when the offense really kind of put everything together. Guys, we talked about how good their defense was, right? They were essentially somewhere around in the 12 range overall, in my opinion. So this is a borderline top 10 defense that you went up against, and you dropped 34 points on them. My goodness, man. So, and then, of course, here's the meme. This may offend some people. If you got kids watching, pause it, get them out of the room. All right. This is from South Park. This meme gets used over and over and over. But here we go. And it says, and I'm not going to play the video because it's untelling what it says, but NFL Memes put a tweet out. Matt LaFleur trying to get into his house for Thanksgiving dinner. And there are two things restricting him from getting through the door if you guys are listening on the pod. But that just absolutely cracked me up, Tim. Anything you'd like to add to it?
I'm speechless. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. The internet is undefeated, right?
They really are, man. Dude, it broke me up when I seen that. But no, in all honesty, though, when you talk about what Matt LaFleur is doing here with this team, youngest team in the league, and now you're missing all these different starters, and you just continue to find ways to win football games. Going into this season, Tim, I had us splitting with the Lions, I had us splitting with the Vikings, and I had us sweeping the Bears. That's kind of how I thought the North would go.
We're gonna F around and sweep them all. Undefeated in the division. Let's go. It's still on the table.
There's definitely a shot here. Now it's looking like the Bears might be the team. If we're going to split with one of them, it's one of those, right? It could be one of those things. Now we'll find out a little bit more about the Bears today. I said that last week against Pittsburgh, and I don't want to be hypocritical, gang. I want to always be honest with you guys on here. When you look at, I see the super chats. We're going to get them here in just a second. When you look at what they're doing here, the Bears, right? And I don't want this to be a Bears segment. We're talking Matt LaFleur, but I'm just saying, I thought, okay, let's see what they do against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was like top 5 or top 6 in turnover margin, right? Now they were without their starting quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. However, they were able to move the ball pretty effectively on their defense. The Bears were. So you got to tip your cap. They're figuring out ways to win ball games. Tonight against the Eagles, we're going to kind of see. And listen, the Eagles aren't a perfect team. The Eagles aren't this unbeatable powerhouse that some people think they are. They're good. They're a really good team. I think they're one of the top 5, top 10 teams in the league. But we'll get a few more answers to those questions when it comes to the Bears and just how good they are. But back to Matt LaFleur here. Let's see what we got here. Super chat from Michael. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you. He says, let's us pray for all of us who have to hear they finally caught the ball. Matt LaFleur is the best coach. Jordan is the MVP. He didn't call the timeout. Refs rigged. Yeah. So the whole timeout thing was hilarious too, because he's shouting the timeout, right? And unless you're on the sideline and you can actually hear it or not, you see Matt LaFleur running down the sideline towards the official, right? Before the guy moves on the false start. Matt said he was screaming timeout. And then all you see is before he does this, you see the false start, right? So obviously if he calls timeout, and they asked the officials afterwards, the officials said, yeah, he called timeout before the penalty. That's their answer over and over. He called timeout before the penalty. He called timeout. He didn't say he gestured to us before the penalty. He said he called the timeout before the penalty. That's kind of how I see that. Now, in terms of they finally caught the ball, this and that, right? Like, listen, there have been receivers running open every week, Tim.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen the drops. And I love that they're continuing to go to Bo Melton, even though he struggled early on, because he was a little bit of a factor yesterday, man. Some of that quick twitch speed, all these things being thrown into the same pot here. Jordan Love, yeah, I don't know if he's an MVP or not, Michael. I feel like he's definitely top 10. He's in the conversation as a top 5 quarterback. I think you got to kind of be unequivocally the top 1 or 2, the top quarterback or the top 2, maybe 3 quarterbacks before you go, okay, MVP level. But who do we give credit for Jordan Love? You got to give it to Matt LaFleur too, right? I mean, it's Jordan. Don't get me wrong. We all know that. The player makes the plays. But who molded Jordan? Who has trained Jordan the whole time, right? It's Matt LaFleur. And I don't think McCarthy didn't get enough credit for that with Rodgers. He didn't.
That's true.
And I feel the same way about Matt LaFleur with Jordan Love. So what do you think about that? Anything else you want to add there?
Yeah, and Coach Clements as well. Also, hopefully he's enjoying watching these games as in between rounds of golf or whatever he's doing in retirement. But yeah, I think you got to give the quarterback whisperer Matt LaFleur some credit here with Jordan, and really, like you said, you brought up AR-12. I mean, he actually kind of took Jordan under his wing there those first couple of years, and you see that kind of trickle into Jordan's game now as he's well within his abilities as a pro and a starting quarterback. So yeah, I think give credit where credit's due. Jordan could have been drafted by a lot of teams, and you never know what kind of trajectory his career would have taken. Coming here and being a Packer, being able to work with Matt LaFleur in this system and develop the way we develop quarterbacks makes perfect sense. So you got to give him credit for sure.
Yeah. 2-0 for this in the chat said, notice the major difference between yesterday and the rest of the year is player execution, not play call. Amen.
That's a great point.
And Matt LaFleur hasn't bucked. And again, Michael, thank you for the super chat, buddy. We appreciate you. Matt's never bucked either. You didn't see him panic. Even after those tough losses, you didn't see a guy that was up there panicking at the podium. He's grinning, he's cutting up, he's making jokes. I think it pissed a lot of Packer fans off that he was like that. But he could see the plays are there. We just got to execute better. And we know with a young team, Tim, it's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take time.
That's probably why he reacted that way, because it's like, if things are going wrong, obviously things went wrong, but you know why, and you know what the reason is, and you know how to fix it. This is the result you get. You learn from your mistakes, and that's a great point from Too Old for This. That execution was there, and Matt was in his bag. I mean, we can't take away the credit for the play calls. You mentioned Bo Melton on some of those jet motions and things like that. You need to run the jet motion against a heavy man defense. It helps. You get those guys moving around. It gives Jordan some intel there right before the snap, and even if you don't turn the corner and you're only getting a couple yards, whatever, it's giving you that information that you need to keep the drive, alive down the field. So I think Matt called a great game yesterday. Really do.
And the reason they call it cheat motion is because you're kind of cheating. You're getting your guy full speed. You guys remember back in the old Arena Football League? Remember that league where they could get a run and go towards the line of scrimmage and take off? That's against the rules in the NFL. But moving horizontally like that, you can kind of get that same momentum. Now you're up to full speed and the corner's got to catch up. So like Tim said, it allows you to gather information. Are they in man or are they in zone? And then B, you can out leverage them, by getting a half a step or a full step on that guy out of the gate. And then also that motion flashes across those linebackers' eyes, and the instinct is go that way. Crap, we got to come back this way. Oh no, it's play action. There's a wide open space right behind me because I've hesitated, right? It creates hesitation. It's all those things, right? And you got to have players that can do it. So Mike Witt with the super chat, thank you, says, I think Wicks will be our number 2, Watson number 1, and then 3 and 4 will be Reed and Golden next year, because unfortunately I think 87 leaves in free agency next year. I could see that playing out. I could. And again, that's the beautiful thing about this receiving core when they're making plays, is you don't have to have Golden step up immediately. There's this portion of the fan base that just wants Golden to be the target. If you target him the way Seattle targets JSN, then he would have similar results. I'm not arguing with that, right? But that's not how Matt LaFleur's offense works. Matt LaFleur's offense, you're scheming guys open. It's not just that's the dude, hell or high water, throw him. Now you could try to put him in the number 1 progression in that read, right? Or you could try to put him in, say, let's say a team, they show a lot of cover 2 zone, right? Let's say they show a lot of cover 2 zone on tape, and you're going to come out and go, we're going to go run a pick aside, right? You're going to have a high-low read here, and then let's say we have a flood concept on the other side. Well, knowing that they play cover 2, in that situation, if they're playing hard flat cover 2 as opposed to like a drop cover 2, then let's say they're playing hard flat, then you can put the guy that you want to showcase in the mid read on that flood concept. You can do things like that, right? And I think Matt LaFleur has done that with Golden in the past, but he's also done it with Watson. He's got to do it with Witt. He's got to do it with all these guys. So there's just no room for anybody selfish on this team. And the beautiful thing is Matthew Golden isn't screaming, get me the ball, hell or high water. Christian Watson definitely isn't, which is why I want that dude under contract for the rest of his freaking career. He does the dirty work with those C inserts and blocking and some of those Z to wing sets and everything. So
pay that man his money.
No, I think you make a great point, man. I think that might be Matt LaFleur's plan. Although the only thing I disagree with is when you look at Watson and say he's our number one, what does that mean, right? Some people think that means he gets the majority of the targets. Other people think that means that everything that the offense is going to be built around him and run through him. I see a true number one wide receiver as someone who tilts the field. The defense goes out and says, that's a Tuesday player. We got a bracket cover him. I don't think Watson's there yet, but he's getting there, and it's exciting. And that's nothing against Christian. It's just how the offense is operated that teams know, guys, they're going to try to throw the open guy. They're not going to try to force it to Christian all day. So if you take their eyes off Christian for a minute, guess what? He's the open guy in that particular place. So thank you for that super chat. And Mike again says, I don't think he's MVP, but Love, in my opinion, is comparable to Jalen Hurts. Probably never win an MVP, but you can definitely win a Super Bowl with. I think that's a fair assessment. I do think Love can win an MVP because we've seen those flashes, right, Tim, back half of 2023. Hell, this year, 3 interceptions, right? That's what he's got on the year, 3 interceptions.
He could go on a tear these next few weeks and all of a sudden really be in that conversation. Be careful. Toyotathon is upon us.
It is. It is, sir. And since we're talking about that, before we're going to jump into some Jordan Love talk. Before we do, let us know in the comments, what do you think about Matt LaFleur? Do you think he's turned the corner? Maybe we could put all the criticism behind him. There's still going to be ups and downs. That's the NFL. But man, oh man, does he just continue to climb up that winning percentage ranking and doing it with the youngest team and a banged up team at that. Let us know how you feel about Matt LaFleur. Where would you rank him currently in the NFL? Would you say he's a top 5 coach, top 3 coach? We want to hear from you guys in the comments. And if you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live in the future. All right, Tim, let's move along now to a little Jordan Love talk. We already kind of dove into it a little bit. People, Mike Wick giving us the perfect segue. Appreciate you, buddy. And also Michael Diesel Train too. Here is the first pass I want to talk about, and if you'll get me that screen grab. This was Jordan Love with a dime piece to Luke Musgrave on the run, a little boot action, if I remember correctly. This was a phenomenal play. Love to see Musgrave getting involved, but Jordan Love just spreading the love around on Thanksgiving Day, man. Here we go.
Singled up, Love on the play pass, looking for downfield catch, and there it is. Wow, Luke Musgrave, the tight end, who could
absolutely awesome. And as I'm watching it back here, it looks like it's kind of a crossing flood pattern. I believe it's Wicks at the mid. You've got basically you're doing a play action boot to the left, okay? Yep. And then you're rolling right. And what's cool is you've got Scoot was lined up as the 2 on the left. So they play action. He comes all the way across, almost looks like he's going to sift block. He's the leaky guy underneath. Musgrave goes up the field and runs a corner route, and then you got a crosser coming underneath. So you're attacking.
Low read for Jordan. Yep.
Yeah. You're attacking at 3 levels. You got the deep corner, you got the crosser, and you got Watson underneath. They clamped on Watson. They bounced the coverage back on the mid read, and Jordan tosses it over the top of Musgrave, who made a great diving catch. So hell of a play there. You love to see Musgrave getting involved. But, Tim, another good thing about Jordan Love that's very important is making sure you're keeping everyone involved in this offense so nobody feels like they're cut out of the deal. They're cut out of the plan, right? I think that's absolutely huge, and Jordan does that really well.
That was evident yesterday, right? Spread that ball around. I mean, yeah, Tay Wicks was the dude, right? Obviously, had a hell of a game. But Rome had a nice touchdown grab. Scoot had an incredible touchdown. I mean, I can't wait to watch that one back for the 500th time. That was a dime piece throw. But and then you get Musgrave involved. We had Josh Jacobs involved in a couple of pass plays. This team is playing as a unit, man. And Jordan is probably looking through the same lens as Matt LaFleur is. When it comes to this scheme, I'm going to hit the right opening in my read progression, period. And in crunch time, you're going to think play or not play. You're going to go to the guys that you're feeling that most comfortable with or who has the hot hand. But at the end of the day, when you're gathering intel and scheming against that defense, you're going to hit the open man. And again, like Too Old for This said, you got to do your job. Guys were catching the ball this week. We didn't have drop issues, and you see what the result is, right? 4 tutters on the day, right? Spread around. Gotta love it.
Yeah. Mike Witt in the chat with a super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, won't be talked about much this week, but I've been impressed with Ryan as our center. Him and Belton were really moving people yesterday. Yeah, Belton, we'll talk about the snap count at the end of the show here. Belton, whether we think he's the right guy or not, I love to see the fact that a second round pick is out there. Hey, go take your lumps now, right? Yeah. And again, we always felt like Jordan Morgan was more of a left tackle than a right guard. So this allows him to kind of let's hone that craft and get ready to replace Rasheed Walker next year. We talk about it every week, but yeah, I agree with what Mike says here. All these plays that we're playing, the sound bites to, without the offensive line, they don't happen. And I agree with Ryan. I don't think Ryan is a starting caliber center, in my opinion, but boy, is he filling that void right now.
He's getting there.
Yeah. He's really doing his part. So. Yeah,
the snaps, we talked about the snap issues. We had a couple of high snaps in the last couple of games, and Sean Ryan really put it together. Looked good out there. I remember that free play we had. Great job by Sean Ryan to snap that ball with that guy in the neutral zone and then back up and not make contact because, they blow it dead if you make contact. So we ended up getting a free shot play out of it. So I think that was a good heads up play by our center. And I agree, Clayton. I think he's filling in really nicely considering we have no Big E out there.
Yeah. And continuing this whole Jordan Love spreading the ball around, here you had Jordan Love touchdown to Romeo Doubs. Packers that would give the Packers a 17-7 lead, and that put them up currently in the middle eight. So this happened with like 2 minutes left. So this would give the Green Bay Packers the 7-0 middle eight lead at the time. The turnover differential obviously stayed at 0-0 all day, but this was Jordan Love to Romeo Doubs on a touchdown.
Here's Love. Looking corner, throwing that way. It is caught by Romeo Doubs. Touchdown, Packers.
Absolutely awesome. And again, watching it back here. So
perfect
just
ball
kind
placement.
To give you guys an idea, the set was Trey left with Musgrave as the tight end. Everybody's in a nasty split. Dobby was in the 1 on the left. Then you have Watson in the 2. They're putting extra attention to him. And it looks like Musgrave, I believe that's Musgrave. It's hard to tell on the TV copy, was the number 3 on the left. And when you roll the tape, Christian acts like he's going to run a little stutter step 9 fade and gets those 2 guys crossed up and then comes back across the formation. And Dobby just hits them with a little oomph and runs an out route. And what's Jordan's reading there is Watson to Rome. If Watson gets a free release, fire that thing to Watson. If they kind of get hung up on Watson, giving him too much attention, timing route to Rome. And just great hands by Romeo Doubs with the catch outside. Put it out and outside where only Romeo could catch it. Both feet in. Just a great grab. I'm telling you, man, there's nothing better than watching Romeo Doubs touchdown with that huge-ass Guardian cap, too. I love it. And it's grown on. I'm going to start wearing more on the show, to be honest with you.
I love it, man. But, hey, you know what, though? They can run that play in their sleep. That's a staple of this of the Matt LaFleur red zone attack. And just great execution on a huge stage on Turkey Day. And, yeah, great hands by Rome. Great route by Rome, too. And then Jordan just putting that ball exactly where it needs to be.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Lentz's natural pick play, absolutely, right? Just whoever comes free, hit them for the tutter, right? Yep. And they did. They just it was a natural pick. Chester in the chat, that Dobbs touchdown catch is going to bother number 6 all week, LOL. Yeah, it was a beautiful play, man, no doubt about it. So, all right, next play. Continuing on with the Jordan Love, just domination here on Thanksgiving Day, which, by the way, his stats on Thanksgiving are unbelievable. If I'm the Packers organization, I'm telling the league right now, we won't play next Thanksgiving. Make sure we're playing every Thanksgiving, please, sir. Because there's something about Jordan. All it took, Tim, was them stiffing him on that turkey leg, his first win. And now he's like, oh, I will make them give me a turkey leg from here on out. So here was Jordan Love to Christian Watson for the touchdown, giving the Packers a 24-14 lead. This looked like a stick nod route or an out and up. Some people call it different things. Nasty splits again. This time, it looks like you got Rome. I believe that's Rome. It's a 2x2 a dub set, 12 personnel out of the ace, so they got to put their base package in, and then you take a shot play to Christian Watson. Pass protection holds up, just like what Mike Diesel was saying in the chat. Protection holds up, little out and up, and off to the races. Here is the TV call on the Jordan Love to Christian Watson touchdown. I believe this was a 51-yarder, if I remember correctly. Here we go.
Love loads up, going deep. Christian Watson down there. He's got it. Touchdown, Packers.
absolutely awesome. Watching his teammates respond to him too, Tim.
Oh, yeah.
Is so much fun, man. And again, when you look at the concept, we're going to break all this down on Chalk Talk for you guys and gals a little later in the week. It looks like both tight ends stayed in and they both leaked. So you had a double flat leak, right? And it was a play action, I believe, right? No, yeah, a little baby play action, not really. So what you had was, imagine a 2x2 set out of the A single back set. You had the running back, Josh Jacobs, run a stab route, which is essentially a curl route out of the backfield. He's just going to go straight through the A gap and turn around, sit down. You had the tight ends chip and leak in the flat. So you got 3 options underneath, and then you got the shot play to Christian up top. And I'm trying to see what the number 1 did here real quick because I think that was Romeo. It's hard to tell who it was. Let's see when the ball goes in the air. So, yeah, there was a double go. So they both may have run an out and up, Tim, a little stick nod route, which is basically – get about 10 yards deep, run a little fake out, get them to clamp on the out, and then take the top off, right? So you, again, Matt LaFleur, give a little extra protection with the double chip, but you got two underneath routes on the outside. You got an underneath option with Josh Jacobs on the curl on the stab route, and then you got 2 deep plays. And, of course, you look up and go, okay, if it's single high and there's not bracket, we're going to number 9 on this one, baby.
Great ball placement by Jordan, too. Like you said, perfect placement to the inside, dropped it right in the bucket at like the 1 yard line, 2 yard line, walk-in touchdown for Scoot. Great route by Scoot as well. We won't have to hear any more of Corey for a while.
Receiver by 10 yards.
Exactly. Mike with the super chat. Listen to this, Tim. You're going to get fired up for this one, sir. Early forecast for next Sunday, 27 degrees and snow showers. Please let a Packers-Bears snow game. That would be amazing. With the NFC North on the line, holy cow, bro. Snow flying at Lambeau. Does it get any better?
Packers-Bears in the snow at Lambeau? I don't know. Only if, I guess maybe for like the NFC Championship or something. That would be a pretty epic too, but we'll definitely take a divisional matchup at home. And it is Wisconsin, though. You know, the weather, you just wait 5 minutes, it might be totally different. So we'll see how it looks a little closer to kickoff, right?
Yeah, definitely. All right, so I quote tweeted 97.1 The Ticket, who had a interview at the locker with we'll keep that screen grab up if you don't care to, with Aiden Hutchinson. Okay, it says Hutch on the Packers' final 4th down conversion. Now, I'm not going to read the quote.
Great, dude. This is great, Clayton. I love it. They didn't believe us when we said this stuff.
Exactly.
Let's hear it from the guy doing it in the trenches. Let's hear what he has to say.
Right. Yeah. And I'm not going to read the quote because we're going to play the audio here. And hopefully you guys can hear it. If not, I'll try to amplify it on the pod. But you guys crank up your TV if you struggle to hear it. Again, 97.1 The Ticket, their Twitter account, posted this video/audio. I said, but Lion fans told me Jordan Love was a bum. You'll know why here in a second. Here's Aiden Hutchinson, his locker, talking about Jordan Love.
It seemed like you're backward, like a half second away from making that play. Did that kind of feel like it encapsulated the day for you guys from a pass rushing perspective?
Yeah, you know, Jordan does a good job of really drifts in the pocket a little bit back and he kind of just throws it off his back foot. And he's really accurate when he does that, but that gives him a lot of time being so far back, you know. And I know me and Aleem were there, but it's just like, it was tough. It was definitely, you know, it is what it was.
Is he unique? Last one, Will. Is he unique in the way that he does that, like relative to other quarterbacks in the league?
Yeah, I'd say probably he drifts more than anybody. You know, just getting a lot of depth. He likes to just see everything in front of him, you know. And I mean, he's got the arm talent for it. Just sit back there and
get the arm talent. I was told by Lions fans he didn't have arm talent.
Get real deep, but yeah, you know, continuing to find ways to improve.
Listen, I like Hutch. I think he's a tough football player. I think he's a guy that plays the game the right way, the whole 9 yards, right?
Yep.
That's why I take his opinion very, very highly, way higher than Lion fans, obviously. You could tell, Tim, in his voice, it was just like
frustrating.
What do we do?
Yeah.
This dude drifts all over the damn place, throws it off his back foot, and just drops, although Corey disagrees, dime pieces all over the field. It can
and then we got to hear other mainstream analysts talk about throwing off the back foot. It's bad technique, and you can't put anything into the throw. Why are you throwing off the back foot? here's Aiden Hutchinson telling you why he didn't have a single sack yesterday.
Right.
And it's because of the fact that little extra drift back, that tenth of a second or whatever that buys you, it's evident. You can see it. I mean, it translated into 4 touchdowns yesterday, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Dennis Shook with the super chat. I'm taking my wife December 7th. Unfortunately, she is a Bears fan. Will you boys be there on Sunday?
The
Tim,
beard will be there.
Yeah, the beard will be there, Tim. You got tickets, Tim?
I do not have tickets, but the beard has tickets. So
okay. Got you.
He will be there. I believe him and his brother are coming down for the game.
Okay, got it. So, so you can look for Jacob. He will be the one running around with his shirt off and his nipples pierced and all that good stuff. He'll be that guy. So, but that's awesome that you're going, Dennis. I
was invited too. A Bears fan and a Bears fan married a Packers fan.
See,
wow.
I kind of like this, Tim. I kind of like the fact. See, me and Dennis, we're cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
People complain about Russia all the time, right? You know what I did? I went and stole a Russian. Mandy's family's from Russia. I always say I stole one from Putin. That's what Dennis did. Just a matter of time, she'll be a Packers fan. And you know what? If she don't become a Packers fan, Dennis, you're keeping a close eye on the enemy. That's what I'm doing with Mandy. You kidding me with that Russian background? I ain't trying to do my American duty here. You know what I'm saying? So
I love it.
But yeah. So appreciate the super chat, Dennis. Enjoy the game, buddy. Y'all stay warm out there. And like I said, look for Beard. He'll he might be in cuffs by the time you see him too. Anyway, moving along to this. So do you guys remember? And this is going to wrap up the Jordan Love talk, I believe. There's so much Jordan Love talk. I absolutely love it. You guys remember, Tim, I know you probably remember this. Remember when the Giants played at Lambeau Field and the Packers beat them in the playoffs and Odell Beckham Jr. punched a hole in the wall at Lambeau in the locker room? And the meme went around where they had taken a picture of the actual hole and somebody put Aaron Rodgers' face staring through.
Looking through.
Yeah. So this account tweeted out, and listen, this is a comedy account here. Okay. I don't think this actually happened, which is funny. Lions fans like, this didn't happen. I know, buddy. And Jordan Love wasn't actually looking through the wall either. Okay. I did that. So just so we're all on the same page.
That belt to ass happened though yesterday. That definitely happened.
So this guy tweeted out, Lions head coach Dan Campbell reportedly put a hole in the wall inside the Lions locker room after getting beat by the Packers. And I quote tweeted it and that's the actual hole that OBJ punched at Lambeau Field. So I just put Jordan Love creeping through. They lost their minds. This thing took on a life of its own. It's got 186,000 views. And what's funny is on the original tweet here, I commented the same thing, and it's got 100,000 views. So they are mad. And again, there's the original that we talked about, right? Where Aaron's kind of peeking through, like, you just punch a hole in the wall, dude. What are you doing? Like, they're as if the locker rooms were back to back, like in the old high school days, right, Tim? But obviously not the case at Lambeau. So just having some fun with it, man. Again, I thought that was hilarious. And this was Richard Johnson here, all right, with only 1,800 follows. Obviously, this is a fake account just poking fun. But it looks pretty legit, though, don't it, with that background with the NFL logo and everything?
Oh, of course.
Anyway, I just love the fact that Lions fans were losing their mind. It didn't actually happen. Shut up, stupid.
Shut up. And you know what? If this game would have went the other way yesterday, you guys would have been trolling the hell out of us too.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, if you can dish it out, you better be able to take it. So take that L, hang on to it, snuggle up with it tonight, enjoy it.
Yeah. O'Day Drums in the chat says Clay goes viral. Yeah, and you think if Clay goes viral, he's chasing a chicken down a back road somewhere or something.
Here's
right?
the guy.
But yeah, it's the Twitter account's wild, man. I'm telling you, I'm averaging like 8 million views a week or something. It's just absolutely insane. We were trending the other day briefly. Our name popped up trending. I'm like, oh God, I don't know. I feel like I'm doing something wrong, Tim. Like the feds are going to come in and shut me down or something. But we're just having a blast with this season, man. It's been awesome. So anyway, let us know in the comments if you're watching this video back later. How do you feel about Jordan Love? What do you think about that performance? I gotta be honest with you, man. If anybody's got anything negative to say, we're just going to have to agree to disagree because I thought he played so damn good yesterday. Just an awesome game, spreading the ball around, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. I'm excited to look at the updated numbers. Imagine what his EPA is going to be. This is a perfect example of EPA and things like that, Tim. On that play to Wicks, and I can't wait to show it on Chalk Talk where we'll actually show the clip. he's fading back, and I think it's a lean in his face. It's a big defensive tackle, and he's got a hand in his face, and he kind of hits Jordan in the chest as he lets it go. He don't even get the whole arm into it. His arm talent is amazing. But we want to hear from you guys in the comments. Let us know what you think about Jordan Love. And if you're new here, first time tuning in, appreciate you guys hanging out with us on Victory Friday. Make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. Anything else you want to add to Jordan Love, Tim, before we talk a little Micah Parsons dominating yesterday, man?
Yeah, I think it's been said before, but I think we should say it again. I don't want to hear anything more about Jay Money not being a franchise quarterback. You guys are absolute morons. I don't know what the hell you guys are watching or have been watching the last couple of years, but Jordan certainly is a franchise quarterback worth every damn dollar that we paid him.
Yeah, it's true, man. And anybody who knows how to evaluate quarterbacks, they say that. Now, I'm not saying us. I'm talking about people like Kurt Warner, Hall of Fame quarterback, breaking it down like that. When Jordan would have bad games over the last couple of years, he would point out why he had a bad game. He'd be like, hey, look, in this choice route, this receiver ran the wrong route. Like, he should have took that to 12 yards as opposed to 10. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I understand that level of the concepts and the choice route aspects of any offense. But I always try to look at the opinions of people that have pelts on the wall, like there's an old saying. Actually, Aaron Rodgers used this quote recently. He said, what I learned was never worry about criticism from a person that you wouldn't take advice from. If that person, you don't have enough respect for that person that you would be willing to take advice from them, why the hell do you care what they think? Right. And that's why I try to focus on former NFL players, former coaches and this and that. Some people going, well, what about Rex Ryan? If you haven't caught on to Rex Ryan on ESPN, that he's playing a role there, like he tries to say the most outrageous stuff, and it's hilarious. He thinks he's like, oh, I'm crushing this because he goes viral. You go viral because everybody's laughing at you because you're a dumbass. That's why you go viral there, Rex. And it's crazy, too, because he's a great defensive mind, Buddy Ryan's son, this and that. But, yeah, it's just again, we're fortunate enough in this time that we live in with social media and YouTube and everything else that we literally have access to Hall of Fame players who are going, hey, guys, here's what's actually happening on the field. That's the stuff John Gruden, another one. I'm going to be listening to John Gruden break everything down, which, by the way, all the people that say that John Gruden's a racist, watching him on the sideline at that Pitt game, and how many former players, former coaches, current coaches of all different backgrounds and ethnicity and everything coming up to him and showing him love was just like, how were we painted this picture that he was a racist because of a text he sent, a private text, making fun of the way somebody looked? And I didn't have this in the show notes, but that blew my mind because when you hear people talk about certain folks like that, you go, oh, okay, man, maybe they're a bad person. And then you see them interact with people of other races and everything, and they absolutely adore him. Josh Jacobs thinks the world of John Gruden. It's like we get. I think a lot of it's politics driven. Everybody gets in their corner and they want to fight back and forth and this and that. But I just want to say that popped in my mind. It's another one. Gruden, I know he gets animated and he says stuff that makes me cringe. But if you focus on the information and the order in which he goes through those game preview breakdowns is phenomenal, man. That's how coaches think. It really is. Michael with the super chat. Thank you, Michael. Says, I agree that the Bears are more of a problem than we want to admit. Caleb is a product of great coaching, dangerous, knock them out first. Amen. Amen. Right. And again, there's things he's not doing well that eventually will probably rear their ugly head. But if you continue to win long enough, and then all of a sudden he figures those things out, now they've really got something. So again, we can be Packer fans. And like Michael said, just kind of admit when other people are playing good football too, or at least figuring out ways to win ball games. I can't wait for that watch party later today. It's going to be awesome. Mike Witt with the super chat. Over under Micah finishing with 16 sacks this season. I say he finishes with 16 on the dot. What do you think, Tim? He's at, what's he at, 12 right now? 12 and a half, something like that?
I think he finishes with 600 sacks on the dot. No, I think that's fair. We could see him crack 16. You never know. I mean, what do you have, 2.5 yesterday? I mean, you average that out. I guess we'll see how it looks, when we break down the matchup against the Bears, in the trenches. But I could see that being realistic. I don't think Mike's off at all. I'd almost say take the over.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of feel like that. The only reason I don't like I look for unders to bet on. I don't look for overs because more things can go wrong than right. Like if you got a player, okay, I think he'll be over this amount. Well, he turns an ankle in the second quarter as a receiver. Guess what? There's the overs out the door, right? There's just a few more things that could go wrong than right in that regard. But if you're just asking me if I had to guess here, yeah, I think there's a legit shot he cracks 16.
Yep.
He may go on. You may get a game or two where he gets 3 sacks in one game, and all of a sudden he's looking at that in the next 2 games, right?
Yep.
So again, it's just the injury stuff that concerns me. Like if he gets banged up down the stretch and we decide, all right, we're going to sit him out the last 2 weeks, let him get healthy for the playoffs, that can kind of hurt the over under, which is why I don't put a whole lot of stock in over under talk anyway. But right now, I would say, yeah, I think he's got a really good shot of cracking 16 sacks for sure, man. So thank you for that.
Don't mess with Shiesty Micah, man. Whenever he's got the old Shiesty on, it's business time, baby. Let's go.
It is. And don't mess with Jordan Love when there's a turkey leg on the line, all right? So, all right, let's talk Micah Parsons. Continue here. Micah Parsons and Igbare with the 3rd down sack. Here was the call over on Fox. This was early in the game. Obviously, the 3rd down sack here that they split.
Micah Parsons gets double teamed. Goff goes still in trouble and sacked anyway. Guess who got there? Double team didn't matter. Parsons and Enoch.
Right. 3rd and 15, let him pin his ears back, beats a double team, gets the sack. And then we fast forward here, Tim, a little bit later in the game, and it's kind of hard to see what the timestamp is on this, but this was a 3rd and goal. So there was a 3rd and long sack that Micah got. And then this is a 3rd and goal situation. Micah Parsons getting the sack as Detroit was knocking on the door there to score a touchdown.
Goal. Pressure, in trouble, hit and dropped. It's Micah Parsons again.
Get used to hearing it, man. Get used to hearing it. When you watch that play, I'm trying to see what they did with him. So they line him up on the left side, inside shoulder of a tight end that chips him into the tackle, and they're running what we call a TE stunt. So the tackles completely collapse the pocket, and then Micah shoots into the A-gap. He loops off of that on kind of like a scrape technique. And it looked like that was Warren Brinson that completely plowed through the line there. If I'm looking at it correctly, I believe that's who it is. Actually, no, that might have been Devontae White before he got hurt. But just a phenomenal play there by the defensive line. Those guys completely blew up the interior. Micah loops around and gets the sack. So, man, it's just so cool to see Hafley dialing these pressures up. And again, you say, "Oh man, great blitz by Hafley." No, they're only bringing 4 on this play, Tim.
Yep.
That continue to get pressure with 4, and then you got literally 7 guys standing at the goal line, going, "Where you gonna throw it, Goff? Oh, by the way, Micah's about to be kicking your rear end." I about said something else, but we'll keep it PG-13.
So patient on the pass rush too. Allowing that line to collapse, allowing the play to develop, and then Micah doing what he does, just finishing strong and ending that play. I love it.
Absolutely, man. Just a phenomenal play. And then this tweet or this IG story he put out, boy, you talking about all in the feels. This was awesome. I love the fact – you can go ahead and drop that down for me, Tim. Appreciate you, buddy. I love the fact that Micah immediately, rather than going, yeah, I'm great, look at me, he shares it here and pays homage to Reggie White, all right? And he puts a Drake song up there, obviously, with the IG story. Micah Parsons, I put Micah Parsons so damn happy to be a Green Bay Packer. He posted this photo of Reggie White on his IG story. So freaking perfect. The both of them pointing up to the sky. Obviously, Reggie, a very religious man, and Micah the same. You see all kinds of tats that he's got, and he's always talking about God and this and that. For someone to play so mean on Sunday. Now, listen, I don't think Micah is as devoted to the cause as Reggie was. Reggie was all about, man, feeding the hungry and building churches down here in the South. He went to college about an hour from where I'm at down at UT. But it's just so cool to see Micah kind of embrace this whole, again, man, when you look at them, they're 2 different players. I don't think Micah's at Reggie's level. Micah is a great pass rusher. And he's a very good run defender as well. Reggie was one of those dudes that was just country strong. Listen to Mike Wall when I interviewed him for the show one day. He said, man, I got to hit Reggie White one of my first camps in the league. He's like, I've never met anybody that strong. It's just like, it's literally like hitting a wall. So pretty cool though, Tim. What do you think about this, man? This gets you in the feels too. When I seen him throw Reggie up there with him, that's absolutely awesome.
I think this is Micah really fully embracing being a Packer. You know, you heard it in the locker room speech after he got the game ball, you know, saying that he appreciates this organization for bringing him in and believing in him. I think he fully understands how much Reggie White means to, you know, the Packers and, you know, also the Eagles and also the Carolina Panthers, but particularly the Green Bay Packers. So the comparisons are always going to be there. The parallels are always going to be there. And it's just awesome that he embraces that and, you know, pays homage to the legends that preceded him. And you can't tell me that Micah didn't watch some Reggie White tape and pick up a few little pointers from the film room in the film study, because we've seen Micah use the old rip move and his version of the hump move and speed rush and things like that. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah. And J. Cole in the chat says, studying Reggie White towards the end of his life made me appreciate him even more. Could not agree more, Jay.
Yep.
And this may not even be what Jay's talking about, but what I appreciated about Reggie is he got to a point in his life where he realized, okay, I grew up in the church and I'm all about God and this and that. And I haven't even taken into consideration that maybe some of the stuff I'm reading might not be 100% accurate. Doesn't mean you go out and condemn other people. What did he do? He got lost in the Hebrew Bible. He went right back to the original. All right, let me dive into this and see. He learned how to read ancient Hebrew so he could figure out, okay, what did the original text actually say? And he was seeking truth for himself. Push back a little bit on the popular narratives within the Christian community. That got him blackballed from a lot of places, which he didn't care. I think he was just out to learn a little bit more about what his faith was. If you guys go watch Minister of Defense, ESPN, I think it was the one of those whatever they're called, 30 for 30s or some kind of documentary with ESPN. It's called Minister of Defense, and it shows you where he made some comments early in his career or mid toward the backside of his career, maybe the mid range. I think he said them in Milwaukee that really ruffled a lot of feathers. And then later on in life, he started to realize, I think I might have been wrong there, and he kind of embraced that and seeked out truth. It's just a really cool documentary. If you're into spiritual stuff, if not, probably won't like it. It's more about that than it is football. Obviously, Minister of Defense was his nickname. So really, really good documentary if you get a chance to check it out for sure. Again, I love the fact that Micah's kind of embracing that comparison to Reggie. And then, of course, we had some other stats. And AFM, I know what day of the week it is, bub. I don't need you to tell me that. And if you don't like it, you can bounce. It's all good, bub. Not a big deal at all.
Oh, can we take advantage of this opportunity? Because I'm glad that you brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
Just real quick, let's go back to AFAM's earlier comment. We were talking about the way we played and the way Jordan was playing. He's got comments saying, "Well, I think he said squint your eyes because we beat a battered down Lions team." Okay, well, what were the Packers? Were the Packers not battered down? AFAM goes on to say, "We're acting like Jordan Love is Patrick Mahomes." No, we're not, because Jordan didn't catch the L like your boy Patrick Mahomes did.
Have you watched Patrick this year?
Do we not realize Amon-Ra was out? We have been lucky in the regular season past 2 years. Lucky? Well, Amon-Ra was in the game week 1 when we put belt to ass. And he played in some of this game yesterday. I think we still would have put belt to ass even with him out there yesterday. So, AFAM, relax on the trolling, brother. We all know you're a Chiefs fan. I don't know why you hang out in the PTA podcast all the time trying to troll people, but got on my nerves today with that. Go put some Kleenex in your eyes, wipe the tears away from that Chiefs loss yesterday. You'll get over it.
You can tell the people who are bitter when the Packers win too. I love it. I actually enjoy it a little bit, man, because it tells you a lot about who they are, you know.
Yep.
And let's say he is a partial Chiefs and a partial Packers fan. Let's say that is the case, right? If you are a partial Packers fan, imagine coming out of a game where you just beat a division rival who's been talking trash the last 2 years. And by the way, I know Amon-Ra St. Brown got to start that game. We didn't even get to start Jaden Reed. That's been our leading receiver the last 2 years. You conveniently left that part off, right? Okay, they're without Sam Laporta. We're without Tucker Kraft. You conveniently left off that part. Well, they're without their starting center. We're without.
So were we.
You're conveniently leaving out that part. Well, you know, I tell you this, you're talking about their defense being bad, right? Well, they were without Kirby Joseph, right? Well, we were without Quay Walker, our green dot, Mike linebacker. You conveniently left out that part. So whether people think Nate Hobbs is a bad football player or not, you just paid him in free agency to come in and be a starting cornerback. We were without him. We could go on and on. We could do this all day. The reality is you got to line up and play. And at the end of the day, Packers kicked the Lions' ass. And you got a guy in here claiming to be a Packers fan who just seems to be upset about it. That tells me probably not a Packer fan. Probably just
Sit your butt outside.
So it is what it is. And people are quick to prove their ignorance. ML Football with a tweet. Legendary Green Bay Packers pass rusher Micah Parsons is the first player ever in NFL history to have 12-plus sacks in each of his first 5 seasons in the league. Micah is still only 26 years old and on pace to be one of the greatest ever. Pretty cool shot there of obviously just a storm brewing above Ford Field. I love the fact, literally, when you become the first player ever to do something, my goodness, what else is there to say, right? Because first ever, Tim, that includes Reggie, right?
Yep.
It is what it is.
That's unique, right?
Yeah.
There's only one first ever when you hit a new milestone like that. So you got to tip your cap to Micah. Like I said, Micah's got to wear the shiesty the rest of the year, man. He's unstoppable with the shiesty on. Let's go.
Got to. So Nick McSwain says 38% pressure rate, right? And just going back to that quote tweet we covered in the postgame show, Micah Parsons, this is from Next Gen Stats. Micah Parsons generated 10 pressures and 2.5 sacks on Thanksgiving for a 38.5% pressure rate, the highest in a game since his rookie season. Parsons created 4 pressures and recorded 1.5 sacks on only 6 pass rushes on third down. That is insane. Absolutely insane production there. 38.5% pressure rate. It's just a cheat code, man. And the get off was 0.89 seconds was, I guess, his average there. So just a phenomenal game from Micah Parsons. If you'll get that turkey screen grab for me, Tim, this was our boy Tom Brady given the LFG award, the player of the game, you know what the acronym means there, LFG. This was him giving it to our boy Micah Parsons. This was the post-game interview. The original LFG player of the game, Micah Parsons, joins Tom Brady after the Packers Thanksgiving Day win. So here is your LFG award winner of the week, given by Tom Brady to Micah Parsons.
Another awesome day by you, your defense, the D-line. How special, and I know you played on this day in Dallas a few times, but how special to play on Thanksgiving Day and to contribute the way that you did today to your team's win?
It's extremely special. You just wake up in the morning feeling thankful. I'm just a lucky person because I got my kids at home. I got the kids for the holidays, and I'm going to sprint home to the kids, and I just miss them so much. I can't wait to hug them and, the dad realize their sacrifices. You know how hard it is, Tom. Yeah. So I'm just thankful to be here. I'm thankful to be in this game, and I'm thankful to be representing the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, and you're doing such a great job of all those things, including being a great dad. How about you and your play style? You've been able to impact the game, run game, pass game. We showed a lot of that today. You never have the ball in your hands, but you have so much control of the game. How do you explain that?
Just the mentality, Tom. Just like every time I come into the game, understanding how they're going to attack me. Going into year 5, this was the year I felt like I was going to make my big jump. I was going to be the best defensive player in the league, and I feel like I'm doing that. I'm hitting on all facets in the run game, the pass game, understanding situations, D&Ds, just the full game, man. As a player, you're just young, growing, and you're very talented, but you're still trying to find a way to put it all together, and I feel like this is the year for me.
Yeah, you've certainly done that. Thanks so much. One last question. What's your definition of a turducken?
Something that's they try to set me up right there. I was about to say something crazy.
Don't you worry, baby.
Hey, just something.
Just enjoy eating it.
Yeah, just a big turkey leg that's juicy and delicious.
You got that today. Enjoy it, bud. Enjoy it today like you did. Enjoy it tonight when you get home.
Absolutely awesome, man. Seeing him get the notoriety he deserves there from the greatest quarterback in the history of the game. I think so. I know some people may disagree with that. That's totally cool. But just some other cool shots. I'm going to risk it here because this one's worth it. We were going to play the entire Turkey Day celebration, but we're just about out of time. This cracked me up, Tim. This is Warren Brinson after the game. All right. If you guys haven't
Well, that's
seen
Stackhouse. That's not Stackhouse.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Nazir Stackhouse. I apologize. Which is a hilarious personality. If you watch him and his antics, I'm so glad he's a Green Bay Packer.
Yep.
Fox Sports NFL tweeted this video out. So you see some of the event security, right? Guys, I guess that work with the league, work with Ford Field, and they're sitting there eating the turkey. And you see Nas like, hey, you want to bite? And the guy shakes his head. He goes, no, I ain't allowed to. Watch. No, I can't.
Then he looks around. Hey, where's anybody watching?
Nas gave the same look I did back in the day in the Wilder days. You just kind of give him, oh, we're good, man. Come on, dude. You all right here? You got it. Go ahead and hit that. It's just, I love how he's talking. He's not making eye contact, and you can see him talking out the corner of his mouth. Like, come on, man. You just grab your piece. Finally, our boy gives it. Watch him look around. All right, hell, let's do it. Look at now, yeah. God, I love this team, Tim. I love it, man. There's something special happening in Green Bay. There really is, man.
So true. Love it. I think Nas Stackhouse is gonna fit in just fine long term in Green Bay. I hope he continues to develop too, and looks like he's gonna get some more opportunities here in the near future. So rooting for that guy.
J. Cole says Detroit security is eating with the opponents. LOL. That's awesome, man. Absolutely awesome. Stackhouse is awesome. Says Steve, know the policy. Let's see here. Donovan Schilling says Stackhouse is top 5 players I've ever met. So down to earth and amazing with the kiddos. Love it, man. And again, there's a reason that the Packers draft these type of people, right? And in his case, it was an undrafted free agent, but obviously very interested in getting him on the roster. The fact that they went out and got him immediately after the draft. So
we love our Georgia Bulldogs, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely, man. So yeah, what a cool memory for the workers too. Yeah, it's awesome. But and again, it kind of starts at the top, right? We again, this segment was about Micah Parsons, and you can just tell him giving thanks, him sharing the limelight with Reggie White, and paying a little homage to him, and then talking about his teammates and how special it is to be a Green Bay Packer and all those things. There's something special happening in Green Bay, and I think Micah Parsons is. Tim, when we got Micah, I expected him to be a superstar. I didn't expect him to have this kind of impact in the locker room. He's really surprised me because you heard all the stuff coming out of Dallas that is kind of a little bit negative. He does a podcast. He complains about teammates. He does this. Could not be further from the truth, man. I think he wanted somebody to believe in him, and Jerry wasn't willing to give the money to believe in him, and that's exactly what he said, man. I'm so thankful this organization believes in me. So absolutely awesome. Anything else you want to add to Micah before we wrap up, man?
No, I'm glad that he's a Packer. Sometimes, you got to rub your eyes and pinch yourself because you feel like you're dreaming. And sometimes it still doesn't feel real that he's still a Packer. He's actually a Packer. But we're seeing it, and I can't wait to see him go off against the Bears here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right. So there you go, guys. That's Victory Friday. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Well, first of all, let us know in the comments what you think about Micah. Do you feel like I'm going to ask the question. It's going to be a controversial question. Well, do you think Micah Parsons is on par with Reggie White? Do you think when it's all said and done, they will be talking about Micah Parsons being just as good, if not better, than Reggie White? I'm not quite there yet, but I want to hear what everybody else thinks in the comments. We're watching this video back later. Let us know. We want to hear from you in there. And make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live in the future. Like later on today, we're going live for a hate watch party. All right. Chicago Bears against Philadelphia Eagles. We'll be bringing you play-by-play, score updates, stat updates, all that good stuff. We'll also, during that game, we'll talk a little bit about the playoff picture and what's on the line. If the Bears lose, obviously the Packers will be in first place in the North, and how the rest of the playoffs may or may not shake out. It's just going to be very laid back. It's Black Friday. The ladies are probably out shopping. Let's hop in here. And the ladies are welcome in here, too. If you're doing your online shopping, you can hang out. Listen to us call the game and trash talk the Bears, and hopefully the Eagles can get a dub while you do your shopping online. I'll be doing some shopping today too, to be honest with you, from right here with my feet up, Tim. I ain't going out there and fighting that crowd. You kidding me? So come in and enjoy Black Friday with us, and let's watch the Bears take this L from the Eagles. And then we'll go live again tonight at 6 p.m. Central for PTA Live. We'll be bringing you all the PFF grades from the Packers went over the line. So thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys and gals were awesome. Mike Witt, thank you so much for the generous donations today with the super chats. Michael Diesel Train as well. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support. Dennis Shook, enjoy the game, buddy. Thank you for being in here as well. And thank y'all for making this a special Thanksgiving, man. It was fun doing the pregame, postgame show yesterday. and the Packers bringing home that W over the Lions. So, Tim, buddy, 31-24, Packers get the dub, and Victory Friday rolls on. But will you be in here for the Bears game? It's okay if you can't. I know you got stuff going on. Will you be in here for that?
I should be available. Yeah, I'm planning on being here today.
Cool. Even if you just jump in for a little bit.
Yeah. Watch the Bears take that out. Come on, I can't miss that.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast, man. So,
for sure.
All right, guys, we'll see y'all in a few hours. Everybody, go heat up those leftovers. I know what you're doing. And make sure you hit like for us. That helped. I'm telling you, I've been crushing it with the likes. We can see the difference it makes with the channel. If y'all just take a quick second and hit that like button, we greatly appreciate it. We'll see y'all in a bit. Everybody enjoy your day. Go get some rest, all right? Get the rest of those meat sweats out of you. We'll see you.
Here we go.
We're out. Bye, guys.